Hi, Kill 2 and 2 Days here for match 4 of day 4 of Alliance Tournament 7. This is a really awesome match, Pandemic Legion versus Indecisive Certainty. I'll take you through the Pandemic Legion team. They brought an Eos, an Oniros, a Curse, 2 Rooks, 1 Brutix, 2 Manticore, and 2 Kitsune.
And Indecisive Certainty have brought 2 Nightmares, a Varga, a Vulture, a Basilisk, a Kitsune which has been penalised for moving early, 2 Thrashers and a Cormorant.
And the teams have both worked in at range, 50k for most of the Pandemic Legion team except for their Curse, their Brutix, and their Eos, which have come in more like 30k. And Indecisive Certainty team worked in at 50k too, but the beacons were close to each other, so they're actually probably only 30 or 40k apart. One's above the other. And the match is underway now, and already Pandemic Legion Rook taking a huge chunk of damage, dropped straight to low shields, but hasn't taken another chunk yet.
Yeah, we've got one of the Rooks, yeah, as you say, huge chunk of damage, slowly coming back up a bit. Kitsune as well for Pandemic Legion has lost some of its shields and is now into armour. With the Oniros there, I'm guessing that all of these are going to be armour tanks, so it should hopefully not fall to pieces straight away. Very little damage, if any, on the Indecisive Certainty team. Oh no, they've gone for the Kitsune that had been half healed, or half damaged, whichever way you look at it. And he seems to be holding up okay at the moment, though. The Basilisk is on the ball.
I'm looking around trying to figure out all these ships for Indecisive Certainty running ECCM for sure, but I think they're mostly jammed anyway. I know the Varga is not shooting. I think both, if not, well, one if not both, the Nightmares are not shooting. Maybe one of them shooting. Looks like they have beams fit, which is real surprising, going for range. And there goes the Indecisive Certainty Kitsune. First one, the Pandemic Legion Kitsune is taking damage as well, but getting rep back very quickly by their Oniros.
Yeah, I see that Indecisive Certainty have actually got some jamming drones out, some medium Vesper EC600s, and one of their Nightmares now is lost all of its shields in a hurry. That's not a good thing for a Nightmare. It looks like these stealth bombers are actually doing quite a bit of damage to it. See torps flying around, as well as the other damage from the Pandemic Legion team. One of their Kitsunes is getting armor damage and keeps coming back. The Basilisk is apparently jammed, and there goes one of the Thrashers. So it looks like that Nightmare, now in armor, is about to pop in a hurry for Indecisive Certainty. It's still in structure, but it's dropping.
Yeah, he's going down. There's a couple shield repair bots on him, but definitely not enough. The Basilisk probably jammed. There he goes. So 1 Nightmare down for Indecisive Certainty. It's too bad they brought a lot of bling here, but there's just so much jamming, and they put all their DPS kind of in one bag, just the 3 battleships, the Varga and the 2 Nightmares, and it's going to be easy for Pandemic Legion with 2 Rooks and 2 Kitsunes and whatever nuding and tracking disrupting the Curse has to keep those 3 battleships locked down, which basically takes out all their DPS. One of the Indecisive Certainty destroyers is gone, the other one's about to go, the Thrasher. And still Pandemic Legion occasionally taking damage on one of its Kitsunes, but getting repped back real quick by the Oniros whenever that happens. And there goes that second Thrasher for Indecisive Certainty.
Yeah, I was watching one of these Manticores taking damage and being wrapped back up again. I see a stream of green armor repair coming from the Oniros. It's completely on the ball. They, Indecisive Certainty, did try to change targets to that Manticore. Obviously, these little stealth bombers, when used like this, put out a huge amount of DPS against battleships, and that Nightmare is through shields already, as one of the Cormorants is also taking a lot of damage, and the Cormorant for Indecisive Certainty is gone. The Nightmare managed to pull back a rep cycle or 2, but is now in armor. It looks like it's going to pop very, very shortly.
Yeah, he's going down real fast. Pandemic Legion still not taking any damage. Keep in mind, if you're watching, even though these are all Caldari ships, Manticores, Rooks, and the Kitsunes, they're all armor tanked, and that Oniros has an easy time just snapping the armor back up whenever they happen to take a volley when the E-War is down for a second. And there goes that second Nightmare, so already only a Varga, a Vulture, and a Basilisk left for the Indecisive Certainty team. Pandemic Legion still 100% intact.
Yeah, the Indecisive Certainty team did switch to one of the Kitsunes, and the reps instantly went straight over to that, so he's being repped up quite happily. This Manticore now is completely safe. His shield's back up again, going back up again. Yep, Kitsune is not going to drop down. The Oniros pilot is doing a stellar job at the moment of keeping his team alive, and it seems that there's nothing that the Indecisive Certainty team can do at this point. They can't push through any of this damage. and the Vulture now taking some shields as it tries to be repped slightly. I guess it won't be very long before that Basilisk gets jammed again with those 2 Rooks and 2 Kitsune in play.
Yeah, he's able to lock right now, I guess, since some big cycles coming back onto that Vulture, but as soon as he loses lock again, the Vulture should go down pretty easily. They will have a harder time killing the Vulture, maybe, than battleships, but it still should just be a matter of time. Now he's down to about 40% armor. Pandemic Legion here being the first team to really show a powerful use of stealth bombers. When I looked at the setups, I thought their DPS might be their biggest weakness. They're a little light compared to most teams, but stealth bombers, if they're able to keep them alive, they work great against battleships, 300 or 400 DPS apiece probably, and that's definitely going to be enough. That Vulture now in armor and going down pretty quickly.
Yeah, I didn't see any target painters though, which is a bit odd. When you field stealth bombers against undersized ships, and especially as there's a lot of people fielding the battlecruiser setup as that Vulture goes down for Indecisive certainty, the target painters really do help a lot with the DPS on those stealth bombers because they're firing torpedoes.
Right. Yeah, still Pandemic Legion doing great. The field's a little mixed up now. That Brutix and EOS been in there since the beginning, pretty easily able to do damage without taking any, thanks to all the EOR support. Looks like now Pandemic Legion's going to be finishing off the Basilisk, which is already at about 40% shields. He's getting some big rep cycles as well, probably just local reps. Yeah, I'm looking closer and I'm trying to make sure, but the logistics ship, being able to run a pretty decent tank on its own, and certainly the Vargar not running any transfer. So he's in armor anyway though now, and structure, and will be dead in just a second, leaving only the Vargar for Indecisive certainty. There goes that Basilisk. So just one ship left now to finish off before Pandemic Legion walks away with this pretty easily.
Yeah, they really needed the full 125 after what was a very tight match last week where they lost by a single point, which gave them 35 points to coming into this match. So the 125 for this win will put them probably very safely, in fact, into next week, and we'll be seeing them in the televised live final. Vargar is now boosting away. His shields are down to about 50%, come back up a little bit again. He's obviously quite a good tanking ship because it gets a bonus to these sort of things, but it's not going to be enough to keep up against the DPS output from those stealth bombers.
I believe that Vargar is running a smart bomb. I'm not 100% sure. The torpedo graphics are totally overwhelming my brain, but it looks like he might be running a smart bomb, which isn't doing any good, I guess, because there's still some hammerheads and stuff on him, so maybe not. Anyway, he's dead now. Pandemic Legion, flawless victory, really fantastic performance using a lot of ships that have been a little weaker, like the stealth bombers, so good job to them, and we'll send it back to Soundwave.